every year I get one free video about whining, complaining, and whinging about car fads that I hate. And this is not really to be like annoying or make the same video over and over again. It's just to kind of give the idea to car companies of stuff that consumers really don't like. So without further ado, let's get into it. This should be kind of a quick, fun, and airy video. Okay, my parents just bought a brand new car. I inherited their RAV4. Anyway, they bought a Corolla Cross, and it's a hybrid. It's nice. It's a great car. But the issue is there's one storage compartment in the whole dashboard. Like, there's no little pocket like the RAV4. Nothing except for one little pocket, and that pocket is filled to the brim. I mean, head to core. Like, there's no area to put anything because it's filled with a wireless charger. Now, yes, you can put stuff over the wireless charger, but what happened to the days of just having a covered little compartment where you can put all your crap? The Toyota Avalon, it was great. It fitted in with the interior. You would never really notice that it was there, and it was great. You could put all your crap there. Some cars now even have two, not one, but two wireless charging pads on either side without any walls or anything, so you couldn't put anything there if you wanted to. You want to know what? When we wanted people to stop smoking, we took the cigarette lighters and, the ashtrays out of cars. If we want people to stop using their phones, now I get the argument for the wireless charging pads. They say, oh, well, if you put them there, that means you're not holding them. I have never seen one person who prefers wireless charging over just plugging in the damn phone. Because the issue is, with wireless charging, oftentimes it's not MagSafe if you have an iPhone, which means it's going to slide everywhere, or Google's equivalent of MagSafe, which is stupid. And if it is, then all the metal bits that you put in there, like paper clips and stuff, stick to it, so that's annoying. And also, why not just plug it in? Plug it in. Also, a lot of people have cases. I have a blue OtterBox on my phone. I have a 13 mini. I'm coming out with the tech channel. That should be fun. It doesn't do wireless charging. It's useless. And even if it did, it heats the phone up. It's very inefficient. Why would I want that? Especially, why would I want that in my car when there's plugs and kibbles and bits and such all around me where I could plug in my phone 1,000 more efficient ways than sitting it on top of a wireless charger? Are we really too lazy where we cannot plug in our phones nowadays anyway? You also get better Apple CarPlay that way. Another thing on new cars is what happened to the useful buttons. I sat in a new Beamer and I got in and I felt the steering wheel, and it was like torture. Like, there's nothing useful on the entire steering wheel. There's no climate control, there's no fan, there's nothing good like that. I mean, the one useful thing is the heated steering wheel button, which is in the middle of the steering wheel and not even where you'd want to be touching it. Like, the phone bits are useful, but other than that, seek, track, there's just not a whole lot of useful stuff. And there's so many buttons that they're difficult to feel when you're driving, especially when they're all flat. Like, for example, this is what I think an example of a good steering wheel is. First of all, you have the display button down there. You have the speak button. It'll go beep, hey Toyota, blah, 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 blah. And it'll do whatever you need it to, even though that system wasn't great. And then you have your climate control on one side. You can adjust your temp, you can turn it off, and you can do your auto. That's exactly what you want. You either want to turn auto on and off, or if it's really cold outside, you turn it all the way down. Or if it's blowing too loud and you're trying to make a turn and you shut everything off and you just press off, it shuts up. Then you've got the radio button. The radio button, you've got plus and minus for volume, you've got seek and track. Perfect. You've got your phone button. You can hang up calls. You can, accept calls. And you have your mode button for your little screen there. You could even add a little D-pad there to control the screen if you wanted to do something fancy. What more do you need than that? I mean, you're driving the car. Why not control the most basic elements of the controls from your steering wheel, which is where your hands have to be? Buttons on a steering wheel are a new invention, like this grand new idea, which is fantastic, which allows you to keep your eyes on the road. And so why are we deciding to populate these buttons with a bunch of useless shit, like lane keep assist? That should be a little stock under the steering wheel, like Toyota's done it for years. Why not put it there? And another thing that annoys me is these touch capacitive buttons. Listen, people hated these when they came out on climate controls. They just didn't like them. Toyota tried to do like the same aesthetic by making the buttons black, like piano black, and it was better, but you still couldn't really feel the boundaries that much. These are like the worst, especially with the Volkswagens. They like to do this a lot. Like, think of like a cheap laptop. You know how the trackpad is integrated with the rest of the body and you can't really feel where the borders are? That's the issue you have with these steering wheels. When I'm supposed to be keeping my eyes on the road, and again, I'm overplaying it here. It's not like you need to have your eyes directly glued to the center of the windshield at all times. But it is nice when you don't really have to look away because you are driving, you are doing things. And having a touch capacitive panel, which gets annoying to touch, it gets greasy when you're eating fast food, I'm just not a fan. Plus, we have a solution for this. My 2010 Toyota Prius has a screen on the dashboard where if I press one of the buttons, it'll light up that button in amber on the dashboard with the layout of the buttons. And it takes, I drive this car all the time. I think it's my miles per gallon and then my acceleration and that crap. It takes that away and replaces it with that for a split second just to show me, where all the stuff is. And it's laid out in a way where I remember exactly where the layout is and I don't need that map anymore. Why don't we do that for the touch capacitive buttons? I get that it would get annoying that it lights up every single time you press or every single time you hover your thing over the button. But come on, but let's at least try, or just don't use them at all. That too. Another one that kind of annoys me is non-traditional steering wheel shapes like the stupid Tesla yoke or the new Subaru Toyota thing with the flat top and bottom. Why? What people do they have working on this? What stupid people do they have working on this? This is like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a meme where the handle for the thing is cut into the wall. Like, the handle for the bathtub is cut into the wall, but it can only stay off because the hole isn't that big for you to actually be able to turn it on. That's like this. So, the goal is, when you're driving, it's not, your legs are there and it's more room for your legs. First of all, maybe we solve this with an actual engineering mindset and we just make the steering wheel go up a little bit higher. And the second of all is, maybe we actually use our brains. What does a car have? Wheels. What do wheels do? Well, they spin, hopefully, on a good car. So, if it's called a steering wheel, that probably means that it spins, which means the second that you spin the wheel, the entire point of having the top and bottoms flat, it doesn't make any sense. There's no point to it. Another reason, now you may be asking, well, why would Subaru make it flat on the top? Is that so that when you're doing like a 360-degree turn, it's like that? No, this is for another even stupider reason. Because they do the gauge clusters the way that they do, the round steering wheel was cutting off the speed. Like, you could not see the speed where a normal person would sit in the car. You'd have to shift, you'd have to go up. I drove in my friend's Prius, and I'm decently tall, and I could see over it. He cannot. It's a big issue with him. He has to keep it all the way low so that it's right over his legs just to be able to see what speed he's traveling. Stupid. We have answers to this. We just choose not to use them for crap like this. And for the Tesla yoke, Tesla. You make the best EVs. Let's all just admit it. Tesla makes the best EVs, aside from the Chinese ones, but those catch on fire. Then again, sometimes so do Teslas. But Tesla. When you're doing a three-pointer or a U-turn, everybody's going to grab the top. Everybody's going to reach for the top, and it's not going to be there. Why don't you just remove the wheel entirely and just have the three little things coming out of the post in the middle and stir with it? I mean, everyone's going to reach for the top. No matter how long everyone's going to do it. It's just how you learn to drive. And it's annoying to hold, it's stupid, and it makes no sense. You don't have to be different from everyone else, because sometimes, believe it or not, the auto industry does in fact get things right sometimes. Alright, this is just a little Quokka family history here. My mother drove a 2012 powder blue baby Toyota Camry. It was an LE, she loved it, it was great, it was from a fleet, it had replacement hubcaps. I don't know why I remember that or why I'm telling you that, I just do. Anyway, she was pulling out of a parking lot in an apartment, and it got smashed. The thing, they were going like 60 miles per hour, the cameras only took photos, they showed what was happening inside, but they didn't actually record it, because it was like 2016 or whatever. And that thing got smashed. So then she bought a 2015 Toyota RAV4. We had moved to Oregon out of Florida, and we needed something with all-wheel drive. And she said that was the car with the hardest suspension she had ever had because it had sport-tuned suspension. A car that I still drive, and I think the suspension is quite firm. Now, that may not sound crazy to you. Oh, well, if she's driven a Camry, of course it's going to be harder. Well, let me tell you the two cars that she had before the Camry. She first had a base model Jeep Liberty, and then later a mid-tier Honda CR-V, like the EX or something. And she said that the Toyota RAV4s was the hardest suspension she had ever had. Compared to a Jeep, all because it was stupid sport Autobahn sport tuned suspension. Why? No one. Let's be real. Let's all be honest here. Let's have an honest conversation. Nobody needs sport tuned suspension. Nobody's going off-roading that much where they need a car with the suspension that firm. Why would you want that? It's like, for better handling. Most people don't give a shit about handling that are buying a Toyota. The people that care about handling, they buy Lexuses, they buy other cars, and also, if they're spending more money, they can afford to have the suspension the way that they like it. Why are we catering these cars to the bottom 2% of actual car buyers? Because the same people who buy the Camry are the same people who buy the RAV4. So just put a comfortable, if you're going to take away the third row, and you're essentially going to slowly making it shorter and wider and fatter, if you're going to slowly turn it into a Camry, you might as well do the suspension first. Before we get into the next part, let me tell you what I think a good wheel is, because we're getting into wheels and it's all subjective from here, it's all style, same with everything else in this video, but I just felt like I should give you a goalpost. These are a hubcap and a steel wheel, which I think are very pretty. We had also, my mom has had a bunch of cars. We move, like, her family, no offense to her, they're kind of hillbillies, we move a lot, we have a lot of cars, we have like 6 or 7 in a lot, 2026 in the big 2.6. So we also had a Nissan Altima and stuff like that, and it had those hubcaps. And as a child, I thought, they were very pretty. They're wide, they're fat, they've got 5 lug nuts. I thought that's a good thing. On my RAV4, we have the XLE from 2015. This is actually an eBay listing for the hubcap, if you notice the little zoom in the corner there. For my RAV4, 5 spokes, 5 lug nuts. I like the little indentation. Simple wheels. They're great. They age very well. This is what I think a pretty wheel is. I can't do it. Are they trying to be ugly? Are they trying to make the ugliest possible wheels anyone has seen on an automobile ever? They are they are the ugliest wheels I have ever seen on any automobile ever. They are worse. I put a picture of, your average 80s Fiero wheels there. Your, Civic Si wheels. They're worse than those. 5 lug nuts with 4 spokes? What are we doing here? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? It's hideous. It's disgusting. It's vile. It doesn't go with the car. It's ugly. They look way better in 5-spoke versions. They're hideous. And the ones where the lug nuts are exposed, that's even worse. 5 lug nuts with 4 spokes? Why? Why? They look so bad. And they have these big, gigantic hubs in the middle with these tiny little pillars. I can't describe them. They are the ugliest things I've ever seen. All right, I whine about this every year. Kia, they're so bad. They're impressively bad. I whine about these every year. They keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. The 5 lug nut ones are from this year, 2026, the big 2.6. Anyway, I've whined about it for this year. Let me know what your least favorite ones are in the comments. And boy, are these wheels literally ugly. We're repeating the 80s.